Okay. Question 5. In a classroom of 24 students, 2/3 of the students are wearing blue jeans. So how many of the students are wearing jeans? And some of us look at that problem and say, well, that's easy. It's 2/3. No, 2/3 of the whole group. How many people? So there are a couple of things I taught you about this. 2/3 of those 24 students. So anytime you're taking a fraction of a number, it means multiplying. So I could say 2/3 times 24. And I could make that a 24/1. But we also talked in class some about making a fraction bar that represents the 24 students. Okay? If my denominator is a 3, I'm going to divide this into 3 equal parts that are each going to be 1/3. What is 1/3 of 24? It's 8. So if I put an 8 in each of these spaces, how do I figure out 2/3? Okay, well, I'll just look at 2 of these groups. What's 8 plus 8? 16. If I know that 1/3 of 24 is 8, then 2/3 of 24 would be 16. Okay. Question 6. Which number is equivalent to 13 halves? Now, this one was also a STAR question a few years ago, and students struggle with it every year, okay? Now, this number is improper. We know it's greater than 1 whole. So all of these are also greater than 1 whole, okay? So with an improper fraction, I know what I do is divide numerator divided by denominator, or sometimes what we call top dog. So 13 divided by 2. Now all of these, oh, look, this one, A and C and D start out with 13 divided by 2. But B says 13 times 2. Well, we know that's not our strategy, so we can get rid of that. Okay, so 2 times 6 is 12. All of these begin with a 6, so we're good so far. And I have a 1. Now, a lot of students have a bad habit of taking that 1 and putting it right after your decimal. I'm sure a lot of you did that on the test. Remember, that is not our strategy. I never ever taught you to just take that remainder and put it after your decimal. Okay? Now, if you were going to make it a decimal, okay, you could add your 0 there, here, and say 2 goes into 10 5 times. But even if it's 0.5, that's not the same thing as 0.05. 1/2 is not going to be 5/100ths. 1/2 is going to be 5/10ths. But if I showed it the correct way here, 13 divided by 2. 2 times 6 is 12. And that 1, remember, becomes the numerator. And my denominator stays the same. So it's 6.5. That answer was C. Okay, we're going to get one more here. 3 sets of numbers are shown in the Venn diagram. And I know on your test, this shaded part didn't show up so clearly, but we drew it on the board for you. What number can be placed in that shaded area? Okay, so if we remember what we learned about the Venn diagrams, the part that's in the very center that overlaps all 3 circles must be a whole number and an integer and a rational number. Now, I told you that everything that we use in 6th grade will be a rational number. You start dealing with irrational numbers in 7th grade when you learn about pi. Okay, but it's our whole numbers and integers we have to really focus on. Okay, remember the whole numbers are those positive counting numbers. And the integers are all those numbers and their opposites. Okay, so every integer can be seen on a number line, those positive and negative numbers. Now the whole numbers, it's only the positive ones. So it's got to be positive to go in there. So it could be a 7, it could be a 10, it could be a 12, it could be a 341, any positive whole number. Now, it could be a little tricky. You could put a 7.0 if you wanted. That's the same thing. Okay? As long as it is a positive number that's not a decimal value in between these or a mixed number. Okay?